Okay, I'm ready. Sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. Please excuse me. I want my HTV. I want it now, and I want it live. I love that. Thank you, lovable troll, wherever you are out there. Hey, James, Greta, Uncle. Wait, I have to flip screens. All right, Nicholas, I'll conquer. Well, welcome, Sage. Welcome, everyone. So, I actually took notes. Let me see. Can I make this bigger? So, how do you like it? My backdrop. I had it perfect, leveled out and everything, but now I'm going to blame it on the floor being crooked and not my backdrop. But I had to adjust it a second time, so here. I like this. Can you see it? Probably not, but it says, also I heard the voice of the Lord saying, whom shall I send and who will go for us? Then said I, here am I, send me. Isaiah 6, verse 8. Kind of nifty, huh? I love this. It's from Israel. Joshua Andrews, how are you? So, it's great to see all of you guys. All right, I put a few things down that I wanted to talk about, and excuse me, but if any of you are eating or drinking out there, may Yud Hey Vav Hey bless our food and make it holy in the name of the Father, in the name of the Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit, in Yeshua's name. Also, Heavenly Abba, we ask that you join us for our meal. We want your company. In Yeshua's name, Selah. Okay, so, okay, I named this video. I'm like all wound up and excited. Programming and random ruminations. In the description, I wrote a few things. Infiltrators. Okay. We're going to leave that lowercase and mass media lies. Okay, so that's what we'll talk about is elementals, and I'm glad that James Robinson is in the chat room. I'm trying to think of who it was. Okay, that's right. It goes back. Forgive me, I have to do that chain reaction to remember things. It goes back to Uncle Obvious. Uncle Obvious sent me a link for Daniel Duvall. He had someone on his show talking about elemental beings. I think it was a woman. I can't remember. It could have been a man. But Dan Duvall had a, and you have a wrench, Uncle Obvious. If you know the video or can remember it, please drop it in the chat room. Hey, Catherine O'Connell. It's great to see you. I love you. Please drop it in the chat room. But it talked about elemental beings. Hi, Deb. It's great to see you. But then I got talking with someone this morning, and I had asked about the elemental beings, and they had told me that elemental beings are also known as golems in Jewish mysticism. So I cannot take credit for that. Ruthie Andrews. Thank you. That's who it was. Ruthie Andrews. I'm glad you brought that name up, Uncle Obvious, because I was trying to explain this morning on a phone call. I don't know if the person wants to say that we talk or not, but I'll leave it up to their discretion. But they brought it to my attention that golems, elemental beings are known as golems in Jewish mysticism. Should ask me. If you have any more links, Uncle Obvious, go right ahead. But that was the testimony I was trying to remember, I guess, was from Ruthie Andrews when she talked about those things. You know, elemental beings like trees. Okay, the trees themselves do not have a soul the way like people are like, oh no, you're cutting down trees. Okay, well, you are hurting Mother Earth. It is not Mother Earth, I take that back. You are hurting Earth. Earth is a living, not conscious being from my human understanding. But you know what? You have 4 elements: earth, fire, wind, and air, right? Earth, fire, no. What are our four elements? Fire, water, earth, and I can't believe I'm drawing a blank. But I think it was Ruthie Andrews. This is a subject I want to dive more into. I guess I'm bringing it up because I'm looking for you guys to give me links and answers. But from my understanding, like Earth has these elemental beings, and they are subject to Yeshua HaMashiach's name. But they're elemental beings. So, thank you. Water, air, fire, earth. Oh, okay, good. Water, air, fire, earth. Okay. So, earth, fire, water, and air, those are elemental beings that are supposed to serve Yeshua HaMashiach. And these elemental beings are under Yeshua HaMashiach's reign and rule. Some of them pay attention to it, and others do not. Thank you. Stockoian. That's the word. Stachyon. Stachyon. Thank you. I don't have a Strong's Concordance. I think you can use one online. Stars, luminaries are also beings. I agree, Uncle. I was just about to say that. The planets are also elemental spirits or elemental beings. Yes. Thank you, Deb, for saying that. The elements are also used in rituals. Absolutely. So, as you know, I've been falling down rabbit holes lately. And forgive me, you guys are going to catch me eating. But at least I did not burn my lunch like I did yesterday. Excuse me, I'm hungry. I'm a quick eater, and I don't mean to detract from the show. It's just that my timing is off today, and believe it or not, I've been trying to multitask. I have a lot to get done, though. So that's something I want to dive into is these elemental beings. So if anyone in the chat room knows anything about it, please. Please. Where we get the name of the planets from, yep. Fallen angels. I think people call archangels and all these different hierarchies of angels, they just group them into one name and call them angels. I will call you. I want to check in with you anyway. See how you're doing. Again, I apologize for eating. Thank you so much. Here we go. Here's a link. I didn't know you had a channel. Oh, jeez. Uncle Obvious, I did not know you had a channel. Thank you for the link. Okay, so here's a link for you guys in my chat room. My screen just bounced. Solomon called these kind of elementals up. Yes, planets, wandering stars, false teachers, where we get name planets from. It says Uncle Obvious. Deb says yes, fallen angels. There's another one. A lawnmower was even used here with bindings, serial numbers, match life, extension, patience. So I found that to be an interesting subject. But lately, the subjects that have been coming up, one that really gets me heated, I'll be honest. It's about infiltrators. And, oh, okay. Yeah, let's ask Uncle Obvious about elementals. He knows. There was a story I heard where someone came into contact. Maybe that's the link I was looking for, Uncle Obvious. Someone had come into contact with an elemental being and didn't know what it was. And they were telling the story of how they saw this big elemental being. It came out of the trees and started speaking, I guess. I'm not remembering this person's testimony very well, so I'm definitely paraphrasing and I'm definitely getting something of it wrong. But I guess this person had an experience with one of these huge elemental beings and then went back, did some research and found out what it was and found out that that elemental being is still subject to Yeshua. And I guess this person reminded this elemental being, listen, you may not have been paying attention, but you're still under Yeshua HaMashiach's authority. And this elemental being, oh, this is yours? I'm not, I'll shut up. Well, anyway, guys, go look it up. I think I'm probably getting stories confused. That's what it is. I am so sorry. I'm getting two people's stories mixed up together. Okay, so this person, I guess, ended up going back out and reminding this elemental being that they're still under Yeshua HaMashiach's authority. And the elemental being was reminded and complied to Yeshua's name. So anyway, I'll let you guys go research that for yourself. But again, that wasn't my experience. And I apologize for confusing it. Oh, thanks, Uncle Obvious. I appreciate it. Am I allowed to say? Can I tell everyone? I don't know what I'm allowed to and not to say here. I feel like I'm giving it all away. Okay. I'm not sharing, Peter. Where'd it go? Sorry, honey, you gotta wait. Forgive me, I apologize. Excuse me. Okay, now I'm done eating. Okay, let me get my screens back right so I can run a proper video. I haven't messed this one up yet. Hey, Shelly, sweetheart, how are you? It's great to see you. Okay. Now I'm ready. Excuse me. So, I'm not going to start out with a topic that gets me heated, such as talking about infiltrators. I'll start with the other topics. Mass media is definitely not free and honest. I am bumping into more and more people that have totally bought into all the lies that they're telling us. And that makes me really scared to go out in public around these, because scared people make rash, irrational, terrible decisions under pressure. And everybody is just eating up what mass media is saying. And I don't want to go out in public because I don't want to be around panicky people. And I can't, I mean, there is a clear, fine distinction between who Abba is raising up in these days, who knows the truth, who are seeking the truth, those who are rolling up their sleeves and getting in because they see something's going on in this world, and they're stepping up to the plate to fight a common enemy. And then I can see that clear line between that group of people and the rest of the sheeple out there. And I think that term sheeple needs to be brought back because, one, it really gets people upset. I don't think calling them powder puffs is going to work. I think we need to open up opportunities for Yud Hey Vav Hey, our one true living infinite God, creator and savior. We need to open up opportunities for him to go into someone's heart and put conviction in their heart. And we're just to plant a seed, but the Holy Spirit is responsible for growing it. But these sheeple are indoctrinated, dumbed down, and buying everything on the news. And if they are on the computer, what are they doing on the computer? Playing a video game where you can have like 10 other people join you? Hey, River! Dory! I love you guys. It's great to see you. But really, what are these people doing? They have to be on the computer. They're playing a video game, rather, on the computer. And you know those games where you can have like multiple players? And it's like, really? That's your entertainment? You know what? No offense. When I was a kid and the whole lot of us were out in Somerville playing around the courtyard, that was entertainment. When we were the group of us playing freeze tag and then chicken and then on our skateboards and bikes, and that was fun. People nowadays get on a video game or they got their cell phone in their face and they think that I don't know what they think, but they're looking into a scrying mirror. They're looking to a black box, into a black mirror. And black scrying mirrors are known for people into the occult and witches and all sorts of different sorts of, witchcraft, all sorts of things that people get into in the occult world, and they use those scrying mirrors to pull forward spirits out of the mirror or for the mirror itself to show them something. Also, mirrors are used in MK Ultra programming too. That's not fun. That whole mirror programming stuff, that'll sketch you out of your mind. Um, I think from my memories of that mirror stuff, there's a good horror movie about mirrors, and I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, so mass media is completely lying. People are buying it up, and I don't want to go food shopping around people that are buying up mass media, or worse, criminals running around with full coverings. Cover their eyes, their mouth, their hands, their entire head, so you can't even see the shape of it. Let me go feed her. I'm sorry. I hear an article how Tom Hanks and his wife Rita's blood are going to be used in the COVID-19 vaccine because him and his wife, they contracted the coronavirus and they made it through. So they've been asking people, do you want my blood? Because I have the coronavirus antibodies in it. Hey, listen, guys, you know what? The only blood that works for me is the blood of the lamb. Number one. And number two, I would rather contract the coronavirus, build up my own antibodies, than to ever accept any blood from any one of those celebrities. Forget that. And COVID-19, Certificate of Vaccination Identification, AI. Patent number WO2020006060600, something like that. That is the mark of the beast, staring us straight in the eyes. Anybody to take that vaccine or whatever they got out now and are going to come out with later, and then even will come out after that, we need to start saying no to it now. That is the whole entire beast system coming at us. And they're going to try to pick us apart little by little to weasel their way in. We already locked ourselves down. Now they're going to say, if you want to travel, you have to get this. And if you want to go into a store, you have to get this. So I just wanted to really touch on that because it's really driving me nuts. And I've had some experiences, and I have definitely learned patience with people. But you can definitely see my facial expressions when they act like complete nitwits and bumbling idiots believing in what mass media is telling them. And meanwhile, my ministries that provide news, they're literally boots on the ground showing video clips of these hospitals being empty and talking to the workers and people they know that work in the field and directly in these hospitals. And still, they have the truth in front of them, and they don't listen. They don't believe it. Oh, country life. Yeah, dirt roads, creek, bushes, treehouse, and chicken coop. Very grateful. That's how I grew up, Shelly. And that's where I live, like, now. For the most part. Yeah, I mean, I don't have, like, a chicken coop myself or a treehouse. I'd like to have a chicken coop and a treehouse, but we got the dirt roads, the creeks, and the bush. Hi, Leandra Womack. How are you? Medical Mafia. I was thinking about you. I love country life, too. Definitely. Definitely, you walk out in the backyard, and there's nobody around except for wildlife, trees, creeks, and that's it. We're not conspiracy theorists. I know they're bringing back that conspiracy theory word, and it's like, okay, if you're going to call me a conspiracy theorist, I'm calling you a sheeple. That's exactly what you are, and I hope it upsets you. Because unless you get outside your comfort zone and you're made to feel awkward, your eyes are not going to be woken up. Your butt's being powdered right now, and someone else is changing your diaper when you should be doing it for yourself. I'm glad to hear you're all right, Leandra. So, not to keep repeating myself and harping on the things that are going on outside in the world, but it really gets to me. It really does. I was going to go out tonight. Well, actually, I was going to have somebody stop by, and I'm like, nah, I got cabin fever. How about I just come swing by and, we'll hang out for an hour. And they're like, Holly, it's going to rain. I'm like, oh, I got to get out of this house. I'm going a little bit stir crazy, but Saturday or Sunday, I'm not sure. But if any one of the days when I show up, if there's lines outside the Walmart, I'm turning around and leaving. But I'm getting my fishing license this weekend. That way, when I get cabin fever and I start to go stir crazy, all I have to do is grab my gear, put my dog on a leash, grab my backpack full of water for the dog, grab everything I want and need, and walk out back. Take a little hike, and voila, I can just fish. All right, moving on. Sorry. I love these things. Oh my goodness. You ever eat these things? Alright. Let's get on to more important stuff. I'm running a terrible video. But it's also Friday afternoon and I wanted to kick back a little. Forgive me. Chakras. I wanted to talk about chakras. I had two separate experiences. I made a video once recently. I took the video down, so for some of you, this is going to be a repeat. I will have to buy a kayak. So, chakras. I had two experiences. There was one experience, I think it was like November, December. No, wait. December, because it was after that. Okay, so December time period. I was laying down and aww. I'm calling you after this. So I was laying down resting, kind of dozing off, and all of a sudden, right in the middle of me, like, I don't know, like right in the middle part of your body, I guess. I in the spirit, I could see my spirit self and my spirit being. And all of a sudden, from the middle of me, I see this yellow ball of light. And it starts to get so yellow, it feels like it's hardening. Right in the middle of my torso, and this yellow ball like in the middle of my torso, it was one of my chakras, and it was the yellow one. It felt like it went under so much pressure, and there was so much actual physical excruciating pain that it just started blowing up and getting more yellow, more yellow, more yellow, until it couldn't get any more yellow, and then it just went poof, and it exploded. And the second it exploded, I felt a surge of relief come through that chakra. And I woke up from it too. And I felt a lot of relief from it. For a couple of days, it stayed with me. And I was like, wow. Hey, Lynn, it's great to see you. So, I went before Abba and I'm like, listen, I said, Heavenly Abba, we've already dealt with the fact that back, back in the year 2014, I gave, when I surrendered to you and gave my covenant to you, actually it would be May, not even December 2014. Back in May, and even back before May 2014, I gave Abba my third eye, my chakras. I just submitted everything. And whatever I had done in my life, of course I repented for, but these things that people talk about, like your third eye and your chakras, I had heard about them. I had some slight understanding of what they were, and I gave it all to Heavenly Abba, and I repented and I submitted to him in Yeshua HaMashiach's name. That was May 17, 2014, when I got his seal upon my forehead, that picture. I said, Abba, if you give me a picture of you, I'll show the world and turn them into a believer. I could show the world, but I can't make everybody believe. So I had said, Abba, I hope that I didn't do something wrong. This is something that just sort of happened, and I turned this situation over to you with this yellow chakra exploding on me out of nowhere, just out of the blue. I saw I'm dozing off to fall asleep, and the next thing I know, I see in the spirit, I see my spirit body and my yellow chakra it was like it all of a sudden turned on, and it started hurting so bad. It exploded. But I had an experience last week, and it was an experience and a half. I have to leave out details, and I have to be careful what I say, and I want to be careful what I say, so forgive me. I was meditating on the word of Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh. And while I was meditating, I prayed with Abba, and I started, I was in fierce prayer with Abba. And the next thing I know, somebody at this time was with me when this happened. And we were doing some work. I'm going to leave it right there. Him and I were doing some work. And while we were speaking with one another, out of the blue, outside of, just suddenly it came over me, like, voila. Over me, there's another chakra. And it turned this so bright white, it almost seemed like it could blind you. And then all of a sudden, I get this visual. And you know how the hierarchy of heaven looks all the way up to the throne of Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh, and you're looking at him, and there's the seraphim and the cherubim and the oraphim, and then you have the archangels, and then you have the other hierarchy of angels, and what the whole, you guys know what the kingdom of heaven looks like, right? Like right now as we're talking, the hierarchy and how it looks, and all those beautiful spiritual beings, and everybody singing praises to Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh. How beautiful that looks. And Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh on his throne, how beyond words beautiful that is. Well, that vision came into my head. And then from that vision of seeing the heavenly, the courts of heavenly kingdom all the way up, the next thing that happened was everything just exploded into this huge, brilliant, pearl sparkly white, and was like on white hot fire. Like all of a sudden, like everything was this big white hot flames. And over me, I was overcome, is a better word, I was overcome with the power that I had seen and felt. And experienced. And it was definitely something to go down in the record books for. And what got me doing this work with this individual, and I choose to keep my privacy and the details out of it right now. Maybe later, if him and I decide, we'll talk about it, but if not. But what I can tell you is about my personal experience. And what got us started with this open dialogue and whatnot, that led me to even experiencing that top chakra exploding into white hot flames, and was that because what got us started talking in that conversation and got us going down into that path was that I suspected. Now, I know that I have been exposed to harmonics programming because I've been trained with dolphins. Now, Joseph Mengele, he has a method to his madness. He breaks you into 169 altars, programs each one of them, and there's always 3 altars forward at one time. It's never, I don't think I've ever just seen one altar come forward. There's always 3 at a time that are forward. It's not just one of them. But I also have heard of techniques where they literally just fracture your mind right in half. So, okay, Mengele can scatter your mind into 169 parts, but there's also this other technique, this trauma technique, where they literally fracture your mind in half. So now your left half and your right half are kind of operating separately and probably not in sync with each other. I don't know much about it, but I'm learning. So there's that technique where they split your mind in half, but they can also shatter it and fracture it into pieces. So if they can do that with your mind, then what can they do with your soul? And when I ask that question, what can they do with your soul? Well, then what comes to my mind are these chakras. The internal part of your spiritual being. Like, to me, I think a soul and a spirit is the same thing. But you talk to somebody else and they're 2 totally different things, and I don't get it. But if it is 2 different things or the same thing, whatever, I am learning. But I am sure if they have done this mind control to our minds, and obviously there's sex involved in it, because when 2 people in love that are married to one another are intimate with each other, and the moment when they consummate their marriage, at that moment when they both at the same time reach a climax, during that physical climax, their spiritual beings intertwine with one another. So, okay, you're having this physical experience with your spouse, right? But in the spirit realm, or in the spirit world, however you say it, I'm not using the right terminology, and by that I'm probably alienating everyone, I apologize, but in the spirit world, your souls light up and engulf each other and intertwine. You are one. From that moment forward until the end of your lives, until you go before Abba and pray for him to break that soul connection. So it got me to thinking that, okay, if they can fracture your mind and they're using sex as a tool and as a gateway into the spirit world and as a tie from one person to another, it got me to thinking about my soul and my spirit and my own personal spirit being. And I know how Satan took everything great that God created and he flipped it on its head and inverted it. So even though Abba created good and evil, it does not mean he's doing evil. Just want to make that clear. I don't know why that popped in my head. WP Jen Lighton, I want to watch your video. That is like on my to-do list. Number one, I'm so far behind, sweetheart. Please forgive me. And I missed Coach Dave this morning because I woke up late and I was so heartbroken. Plus, I didn't get to fellowship with you, and that's a downer. It's such a downer that for the rest of the day, it's going to be raining. Hey, warning signs, how are you? The frequencies in my ears. Hey, hot retarded chicks, are you keeping out of trouble? Deaf bread, I love you. So, okay, it made me think that between the mind and them using sex, maybe they've hurt my soul and my spirit and these things like a chakra. Maybe there was some sort of programming attached to each one of my chakras. Does that make sense, guys? Now listen, I want to be clear. In Yeshua HaMashiach's name, I humbly come before Abba. I bind and cast down all lying, deceiving, and stealing spirits. In the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, I bind and cast down any seducing, lustful, familiar spirits. In the name of Yeshua, Heavenly Abba, please speak through me so that your truth reigns supreme and your truth is highlighted through this video in Yeshua's name. Now, I know a lot of this sounds very new agey. I don't condone it. No, that's the wrong word. I don't believe in it. I will tell you that you need to stay away from it. Don't mess with it. Don't mess with New Age, occult, these other Eastern religions. You have Hinduism and all of that stuff. No, I'm sorry, but that's just... You're on my channel, so I'm giving you my personal point of view, okay? I won't come and force my point of view on you or on your channel or on your pages, but here I'm going to give it to you straight. So, but because of the evil deeds of men and because of what I was exposed to, I thought it would be important to look into these things of chakras after my experience, because I think there could have been some MK Ultra programming tied into each of these chakras in my body. And if that's the case, I take all of my chakras, I turn them over to Yeshua HaMashiach. I repent for the sins I've committed. I do not want any access to my chakras, Heavenly Abba. I only want you to be able to access my chakras, Heavenly Abba. They are not meant for the hands of anyone else except for you, Yeshua HaMashiach. Selah. But if there is any programming attached to my chakras, I pray over it. I pray for my soul and my spirit to have healing, and for you to, Heavenly Abba, and for you to help me untangle all the things that they twisted on the inside of me. Heavenly Abba, the thing that I want is I want to be right with you. That's what I really, really want, and that's what I'm asking from you again today. In Yeshua's name, Selah. So, Harmonics, I have a real hard time listening to music. I can't. It brings me to tears. Some people have been kind enough to be sending me music that's new to me. So there's like no memories attached, or there's no certain harmonies that set me off. It's different, but still along the lines of the same music I'm listening to anyway. But the harmonies and the sounds and the voices, the singers' voices don't trigger me, and it brings me to a place that I'm not comfortable with going. I have a lot of, this is personal, I'm going to start crying. I don't like to admit this, and I've admitted this to all the wrong people. So it's really nice for me to sit here and admit this to you now. When I look back on the people that I've come into contact with in these DUMs, and by the people that I came into contact with, what I mean by that is the other super soldiers, the other ones that were trained and programmed like I was, and sent out on missions and assignments like I was. So I remember some of these people. And although it's not my normal life, and well, I miss them, and I have memories of them, and I miss them very dearly. There have been other super soldiers I have loved with all of my heart. There have been super soldiers that have died and we've lost them. And I miss them. I miss them. I know that sounds terrible, but there's a part of me that misses them, that misses seeing them, misses being on assignment with them. I miss them. I had bonds with some of these other super soldiers, and I miss them. Keep it simple. I pray the blood of Jesus makes us to transcend frequencies that we don't stay hypersensitized to at all. Yeah, I need to refresh myself on Max Spear's videos. They were very instrumental in helping me wake up. Yeah, they are family. Boy, we had some memories. There were some funny, I have some funny memories. I don't know if I'm allowed to speak them, because if I say anything, you might figure out who I'm talking about, and I can't. I can't give their identity away. So this experience that I had, getting back to the chakras, the experience that I had with that top chakra exploding, that I also meant to say, was that during that experience also I was shown, yes, Max did give his life. He is an unsung, well, no, we know his name. He is a hero. Hey, Killdeer, it's great to see you. Yes, trauma bonding. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry, Lynn. Yep. So the other experience that I had was that I think Enochian magic was performed on me. I listened to Now You See TV with David Carrico and John Pounders, as well as Cutting Edge's John Hall. These are some magnificent ministries, I got to tell you. But David Carrico, he knows a lot, and I mean, he's talked about the pyramid of magic. He's gone into details with, oh boy, all this ancient knowledge, and so to speak. I don't know what you call it, but I mean, he talks about things, and at times it triggers me, and the light bulb, but it's in a good way. The light bulb goes off, and I'm like, aha. There's something that sticks out to me about this, and I'll go and investigate it. And there's been a couple of times where I've been suspect to thinking, wow, that's been used on me, or I tampered with it. What's the highest form of magic there is? What is that, the Cabal? You know, that Jewish magic that you use to purposefully go around the fallen angels and to get around them. And if you mess up the magic, those things that you're trying to get around in the spirit world will actually manifest in your physical world, show up and literally dice you to pieces and slaughter you for getting, like a Candyman horror movie where they just appear and kill you and that's it. Well, but in this experience, particularly with this one chakra, I saw 3 Enochian symbols. So I am suspect to thinking that either they were done against me or somehow in these mind control projects and underground military bases, I was exposed to it. So I repent for that, but also I'm researching it because whatever they did to me in those programs through the blood of the Lamb, I am going to deprogram from it. Thoth talks about what I'm saying. Oh boy, I really don't want to have to investigate those tablets again because the first time was like grueling because at parts I'm like, Thoth, can you speed it up? You sound like that lieutenant colonel that's so puffed up about himself. It takes him 45 days to get through his credits before he even speaks to you. Like, come on. You know, like, can I have the cliff notes to your emerald tablets, please? Forgive me. But seriously, they're long and drawn out. I fell down that rabbit hole a long time ago. I don't want to fall down it again, but I'd like the cliff notes to it. Because if I can pinpoint it and get my finger on it, then I know exactly how to pray to get rid of it. However, it will also give me better understanding as to what happened to me. Oh, I know they're really bad. I wrote about an experience that I had with those emerald tablets in my autobiography. Bad. Yeah, that'll get your soul stolen from you while you're looking. Those emerald tablets. Oh, what's the Zophar or the Zohan? What is that? That WikiLeaks data dump a couple days ago. I don't know, Nicholas. Does anybody have an answer for Nicholas? Has anyone investigated that WikiLeaks data dump a couple days ago? How long have I been yipping for? An hour and 30. An hour and 35 minutes? Wow. But I'm determined to find out what I was exposed to, what I saw, what's going on. Hey, V-Borg, it's great to see you. It's been a while. Oh, Shelly, thanks. Sorry for not really making professional quality videos, but HTV is a very kind of relaxed environment. I mean, here we do like 15 and 16 takes of the same video, you know. This is why I do interviews on other people's channels, so I can get through my interview, but here I talk a lot more. You can't get me to shut up here. Zohar, oh, that's what it is. Zohar is a part of the Kabbalah. Uncle Obvious, are any parts of those emerald tablets a part of the Kabbalah? Or is a better question, is Thoth, considering he is literally a fallen angel, and when you look at those emerald tablets, you are looking at fallen angel language. Hence, why there's crop circles and nobody knows what the hell they're saying. That's just a different alien species speaking a different language. I mean, the Octurians have their own language. Little gray aliens have theirs. Dracos have theirs. I mean, every country on the face of the earth pretty much has their own language. And then within that country, there's different regions and dialects. And anyway, so I'm off on a tangent. Derek Gilbert rocks, has good stuff on the tablet. Mount Herman Emerald Tablet at CERN, I think, is from City of Dan. Thank you, James. I love Derek Gilbert. He's great. I think there are a lot of entangling there. Yes, I think you're right, Holly. That was, if I could have gotten through my question. I can trigger just by hearing it, James. Reading it would be harder for me to be triggered because I'd lose interest in a couple of sentences. But hearing it, I'm a slow reader. But considering that Thoth itself is a fallen angel, a fallen entity, and Zohar is the Kabbalah, and the Kabbalah is Jewish mysticism that teaches you how to get around these fallen angels and these fallen entities. But if you get their magic wrong, trying to get around these angels to get whatever it is that you're after, these angels will come here and manifest and just slaughter you. So yeah, I think there are a lot of entanglements. The reading of the tablets themselves is a spell hidden within. Yes, WP, Jen Layton. Yes. I'm going to call you For Truth. I'm sorry, sweetheart. Yes, I agree. Geometry, universal language. That's another one. Geometry and staying away from that. You have to be careful. I have to be careful too. But I remember that. And you know, that Uncle Obvious I found interesting. Uncle Obvious says Thoth said he was able to move in curves to avoid these entities. Yes. Now, when I have fallen under spiritual attack, these entities, these maybe demonic forces, demonic spirits, they hid in corners. And that was one thing that stood out to me about the tablets, was he was talking about going around in curves. And demonic forces typically hide in corners. Tree, it's great to see you. Thanks for last night. I hope I did a good interview for Anna. If not, I hope that she'll let me do it over. What else did I have written down here? I think I covered it all. What did I name my video? When doing spiritual warfare against Thoth, Thoth is very hard to capture. He always gets free from spiritual prisons. Frustrating. Yeah, it's because he knows how to move between the corners and curves. It's like those featherfoots from Native American Indian culture. to be able to featherfoot, you're dancing between the light and the dark. I'm not trying to catch him. I'm trying to be completely somewhere else, not where he is. Maybe instead of trying to catch Thoth, they should lure him in. Should we read the Bible? Yes. Thoth also manipulates time. That's another thing, is his timelines get so confusing to me. I come from Project Ibis, so like when I went through my freedom deliverance, the names that I came forth, well, okay, how am I going to word this? I went through a freedom deliverance. It was back March 2015, and I believe the names that Abba told me, and the names that I just I inherently kind of knew were Beelzebub, Thoth, and Osiris. And that is what Ekbalo back in April 2015 from me. Brooke, how are you? Thank you so much for yesterday. I feel so much better. This smile's because of you. Boy, you made me feel so much better. Thank you so much, Brooke. And a special shout out to Anna, too. 91, yeah, it does really help. I had a great show. Thank you very much, James. I had a good time on the Zoom meeting with Anna and Tree last night, so special thanks to them, and definitely a special thanks to Brooke, because we were talking about these things, and we were sharing our experiences, and it was definitely, you validated me, Brooke, and you made me feel comfortable, and you put me at ease, and you just opened me up to more perspectives that I used to have. But when we spoke last night, it reminded me that because of the past year, because of what I went through the past year, I closed all those perceptions down and I cut them off because of other people. I became narrow-minded, but then again, I was around a bunch that, you know, their path was more narrow and strict to walk than the one Abba gives you. I don't want their narrow path. I could care less what they think anyway. I serve Yud-Hey Vav-Hey. I'm married to him. I answer directly to him. Everybody else can stand aside. That's another thing. I should be encouraging you people to be headstrong in Yeshua, to not let anybody get in your way or get in the middle of you and Yeshua, or get in the middle of you serving him. Don't you ever let anybody get in the way and make you feel condemnation, or because they, you know, have a different lifestyle than you, that they're more Christian than you are, and that you need them to gain Christian morals and values. The only way you're going to gain Christian morals and values, I'll tell you right now, is to be filled and overflowing with the Holy Spirit. You get saved, you repent, you take a knee before Abba, you get baptized right then and there if you can, because that ceremony is supposed to stay like this. When you're saved and when you do the baptism is the same as saying this sinner's prayer. I say it, the saving prayer. But they're supposed to be together. That's supposed to be getting saved and getting baptized together, not two separate events. But before I got on that tangent, should we eat pork? No. Thorazine drug was used I mean, high doses. Oh, wow. Keep it simple. It was interesting hearing you talk about the future activating of hexagrams in cities throughout the world at Brooke. Oh, I missed her talking about that. Well, wait. Have I heard her talk about that before? Yeah, Brooke's amazing. Hey, Brooke. You want to do a video together? Doesn't have to be right now or right this second, but you want to do a video together? You're a wealth of information, sweetheart. Yes, and Brooke, whatever video that Def is talking about, I want to watch it too. I want a link. So, and thanks for last night and for helping me out, Brooke. Let me tell you, I am definitely humbled because now I feel like you vindicated me. I feel like you were my confirmation from Heavenly Abba that it's okay to have different perceptions. It's okay to keep all perceptions. It's okay to do research and studies and to just settle down and feel comfortable in my own shoes and worry about him and not what everybody else squawks in the background. You know? Oh, 8 months ago. Oh, most likely I heard it. I can't remember. I gotta tell you guys. That ringing in my ear just shot straight into my skull and up. I have never felt that before in my life. Yeshua HaMashiach's blood conquers all, even these frequencies in Yeshua's name. He's bigger. I know, Keeper. I'll let you out. All right, guys. Go lay down right now and stop the barking. Don't. We're still here. But, hang on. Can you give me 2 seconds? Maybe I can take it. Go lay down right now. Just, can I have 1 minute? I'd like to stay talking longer. Hang on. Oh, James, have a great day. I'll be right back. Will you stop it? No, you're going to have to work this off. John, come here. See? Up. Up. You can't even jump anymore. Up. Okay. No. No more. No more. No. Yeah, I talked about the pentagrams. What the heck was that just happened? Right? I don't know. That, like, frequency, like, hit my ear and then just shot. It felt like it hit my ear and just shot in straight up like that. What the... There's like a Gwen Tower like right there, you know, so right near me. Definitely within under a mile away. Hmm. But I guess maybe I don't have anything else to say. Do you guys have anything else to say? Oh, live free, V Borg. It's great to see you. Maybe after, I don't know. What else? My knowledge is very limited. So I'm still trying to figure all this out. And Brooke, I want your book. Everyone, Brooke released a book. And I have the link saved somewhere. But if you want to drop a link into your book, Brooke, you'd be more than welcome to. So everyone, Brooke wrote a book about deprogramming. And she's very knowledgeable about the subject. She knows exactly what she's talking about. So I encourage you guys to buy it. What do you guys have planned for your weekend? Anything exciting? She's not trying to warn me of anything. You know what she's trying to do, Deaf Bread? Get more treaties out of me. You should have seen her yesterday when I got back from the store. Oh my goodness. This dog had her nose in every bag. Oh, the best was when she saw me walk up with the big box of TREATS. Good. She has not yet learned how to spell. And the other word that you cannot say is CREEK. Because if you say creek, yep, there she goes. Would you go in this morning, Keeper? Did you go in the creek? I better leave her alone. She finally laid down. She's quiet. Yeah, treats. Here we go. Keep poking at the dog. She's going to get up and start bugging me again. Okay, Dory. Oh, absolutely she's spoiled. So is the cat. Keeper can't jump because she's too fat. I give her too many treaties, and the cat's so fat she won't go outside to chase anything because she knows I'll just give her a treaty instead. They've both got it made. Now all I need is like a shower cap for Keeper's head and little curlers for Seva's hair, hair. Put the shower cap on them, put a box of bonbons in front of them, and that's it. Yeah, they got it made. On a woman's weekend? Really? But COVID canceled that. I'm sorry, Shelly. We're doing a Zoom meeting in our PJs. Oh, that's really cool. That's really, really cool. I'm not doing anything. I mean, I'll be tuned in on the internet, but the only big plans I have is to get my fishing license and go food shopping. And hopefully I will finish cleaning this apartment. Did the Lyme's disease ailments go away? Yes, they did. Thank you, Galen. Yes. Yes. The bite is gone. The antibiotics handled the Lyme's disease. I did have some turmoil there for a little bit after the tick bite, but everything is A-okay. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your help. Thank you for the copper. I appreciate it. And I'm good. I'm good. I'm getting back up on my feet, to be honest with you. That actually, after all that bouncing around in the month of February, and then the Lyme's disease, and then the loss in my family, the huge loss in my family. Yeah, that kind of took it out of me. So really, guys, I still have to scrub clean my apartment like I did when I first got here, like wash down all the walls. The carpets have been steam cleaned, but once I'm done washing down the walls, I'm going to shampoo the carpets again. And I really want to do a thorough job in this place. So, oh, I got to tell you guys about my night lights. Oh, you guys are going to love, okay, the real important stuff of the show is over, guys. Now let's just hang out, if you don't mind. I'm like a big kid, guys. I hate to go shopping. My grandmother would never take me shopping. I would drive her nuts. Can we go? Can we go? Can we go? Yeah, I looked in the window. There's nothing in the store, Gram. And she'd be like the one going inside the store and like going through everything on the rack, and she'd find a lot of cool stuff though. But anyway, I hate going shopping, but I had to go out yesterday and get some things for my new apartment. So I bought night lights, and well, I bought other things, but the night lights are so cool. Oh my gosh. Okay, so last night my night lights work as follows. I had the Aurora Borealis shining. I found these really cool LED night lights. They turn on and off automatically. You don't need light bulbs. You just plug them in, leave them, done. So my night light in the bedroom was the Aurora Borealis shining on the ceiling, and the colors waved just like the Aurora Borealis does. But then there's also a little light that shines on the floor so you can see what you're walking. And then when you come through the hallway, you come into the kitchen. So the kitchen has, I think right now the kitchen has the planets shining on the ceiling. So you can see all the planets shining on the ceiling, but it still lights up the floor. In the bathroom, I have tropical fish swimming in an aquarium shining on the ceiling. And then what's the other one I got? Oh, the stars and moon. So the stars and moon shine on the ceiling in the living room, and they have alternating lights. Oh, these night lights are really cool. I'm like a big kid. You go into every room of my place, and it's a completely different theme. I have 4 different themes. If I thought about it, I should have gotten a nightlight for the hallway. I would have had 5 different themes going on in my house. Yeah, I want to see the Aurora Borealis. I have a feeling I'll get to see it. So, but, I don't know, I'm like, so, it was so cool with these night lights last night. I was like, wow, that's neat. I'm like a big kid. So, all right. Well, I know like I want to stay and talk, but then I don't have anything to talk about, so I keep like going back and forth. I'm going to go, I'm going to stay, I'm going to go, I'm going to stay. I shouldn't do that to you guys. You guys are probably like dizzy because of me by now. We all will. But I think I'll actually let you guys go. But I encourage one of you to run a live stream so that I can join you guys and hang out in your chat room. No, I'm not lying, Deaf Bread. The Northern Lights are amazing up here in Canada. Ooh, I bet. The first time I saw them, it wasn't even believable. And songs talking about how fallen angels target you. Aurora Borealis shines on you. A sign to the occult. Oh, wow. Run, Lola. Oh, thank you, Tree. I was highly privileged. You weren't a third wheel because you brought up a really good, You brought up a good point yesterday that we weren't even thinking about. I want you to engage in that. I want you to like tell me what you think, and if you have a different perspective, I definitely want you to tell me what you think. Oh, thanks, Tree. I'm glad that you were there on the interview with us. I thought it was great. I loved it. Oh, many blessings to you, Fourth Truth. I love you, sweetheart. Okay, guys, I'm going to let you go. Yeshua blessings. Happy Friday. Thanks for joining me. Sorry that I don't really do professional videos. I would like to one day, but HTV is kind of a more little relaxed climate, so forgive me. All right, guys, I love you, I love you, I love you. And I will talk to you later. I don't know when, but hopefully very soon. So, okay. Yeshua blessings. I love you. Have a beautiful day.